We start with the most left-wing thing in this movie, a gay flag. This movie's title is Butcher Knife, but is copyrighted under the title Dr. Bloodbath, directed by Nick Millard. And this is reused credits from Criminally Insane. And he never used the name Nick Millard, he always used the name Nick Phillips. We started with a man driving in his car. This shot is going to be reused several times in the film. He talks about giving her a pregnancy test, and she doesn't understand. Like, she doesn't understand what it's like to have a baby inside you, because this movie makes women out to be vapid because it's extremely right wing. Stock footage from Criminally Insane because they wanted her arm to be fat to make her feel insecure. He cuts her in the bathtub for no reason. So this movie starts out being shocking in like the first 3 minutes. And what makes it even worse is the scream acting is actually really good in this film. Is probably the best aspect in the movie is women screaming, but it's still extremely terrifying to watch, and that's not a high compliment. We see a reused shot of him getting out of his car. Get was considered a attractive scene in this film. I would rather look at a chocolate cake covered in shit. We see a woman cooking, and her main existence in this film is to get killed. The most right wing in Nick Millard movie is the only movie to have a black person. What the hell? We have a bit of a striptease scene, and right after we see an old lady typing on a keyboard. Well, I guess both women then make me horny, so I don't really care. A driving scene that is not using reused shots from the beginning of the film. Well done. He shows her a poem, and we don't get to hear the poem because there's nothing written on the page. There is no writing involved in making this film. How does this movie depict abortion? Well, it has a turkey baster against a sheet. Um, okay. And we know nothing about these women that are having their surgery. We don't know if they just can't have a baby because it's too much money, or she's from an abusive relationship. We get none of that background knowledge because this movie wants you to see them as not good people for having the procedure. And a turkey baster would only work during the sperm stage. Hit a baby doll with a knife, and this is just completely stupidly right wing. I mean, no woman would actually take a baby to a clinic. That is just incredibly mean spirited. And a turkey baster cannot take out a baby, it can only take out a sperm. We get another reused shot of the house. Next, we see a woman that wants abortion, and because this movie is against that, he kills her with a screwdriver. This movie is disgusting, and the screaming is very well acted. Reused driving, and another reused shot of the house. She talks to the man about having another baby, and the guy is just like, no, 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 no. And that's all the reasoning that he needs to say, I guess, because this movie is incredibly lazily written. Stock footage from Criminally Insane. He kills a black woman with a hammer, and at first it starts out disturbing, but when the it's on the floor and we don't see the rest of the body, it just looks like a man hammering something you would use in a shower.
Does this look disturbing?
Surgery by a turkey baster, blah blah blah. Stock footage from Criminally Insane. Ryu shot the house. He kills another woman. They use stock footage from Satan's Black Wedding, and it's incredibly obvious. Stock footage from Criminally Insane. Stock footage from Criminally Insane 2. The film ends with him looking at us with a depressed face. This is a tasteless film. So that's Dr. Bloodbath. This is a terrible, tasteless film that is like a propaganda anti-abortion piece. And it has no tactics. It just has mean-spirited tactics and lying to the audience. And it tries its hardest to make the woman as unsympathetic as possible. But I just hate the doctor and the director. If you want to see good left-wing stuff about abortion, watch the BoJack Horseman episode Pew Pew Bang Bang, or The A Word, directed by Lindsay Ellis. That. I'll link that in the description. This is a terrible movie. I do not recommend it.